Hello, and welcome to IPC Data Labs. My name is Igor Alcantara. I am IPC's Director of Data Science and Education, and today I'll present to you the patient service sentiment analysis. Using a large language model, we created a fictitious hospital name, nurse's name, physician names, patient cases, and from that we created patient surveys where patient basically wrote what they thought about their stay in the hospital. Again, this is all fictional. There's no real hospital data here. Then we got that information and we submitted to OpenAI GPT API automatically through a scripting process. And we asked the GPT 3 questions. What is the sentiment associated with this patient review? Is it positive, it is negative, or mixed? Second question, considering the age caps types of question, what is the category of this review? And then finally, check if there is any, if there are any names or any personal identifiable information about the patient or about employees of this fictional hospital. If so, censor it. Now let's see how that works out. We had 590 patient reviews. Out of those, 306 were censored, meaning they contain some personal identifiable information. And because we used one specific large language module for this analysis, we used the ChatGPT API, let's say, there was a cost which per transaction was very small. This is the cost per transaction, but at the end, processing almost 600 reviews cost us less than $6, and almost 600 reviews asking 3 questions. This number of tokens and average tokens processed per request. So out of those, this is how many positive reviews you have, this is how many negative and mixed reviews, and this is the categories that were found. If we maximize this, we will see that overall experience is the most common category of review, and then we have communication, nurse, doctors, pain management, environment, treatment, etc. as less common categories. Out of those messages, as we saw here, the number, a little bit over 50% was censored, meaning they contain some identifiable information and they were removed. And a little less than 50%, of course, were not. These are the most common words for negative sentiment. And then we analyze by category of question the size of the message, just to test the hypothesis that people used to write more when they're angry, when they have a negative review. And then we'll break it down by type to see if there's any pattern that we should worry about. And which is interesting, based on these data, it doesn't seem that statement is true. The longer the messages are mixed reviews in communication and overall experience. Interesting that pain management is the one that apparently has the most percentage of negative reviews, probably because people are in pain, so they are not very happy, so they have a higher likelihood to write negative reviews. So this is an interesting chart, but that's not why we're here. We're here to actually see these negative, positive, and mixed reviews. So going to the next sheet, this is basically a table with all of the reviews. We have the text that the patient wrote, but with the censor logic in place. So if we look for censored information, so like this is a censor information, and then I can hover this, and you can see that at some point it says doctor, and then the name of the doctor was censored, and other nurses were especially attentive and kind, etc. And we'll see that this is a positive review. And also we have some negative reviews. They were censored. And then I recently visited a doctor, and then again, the name of the doctor was censored, name of nurses, etc. It didn't censor, however, the name of the hospital, because if this is intended to be used in a hospital, the name of the hospital, in this case, on purpose, was not censored, but it could be if that's needed. All right. So that's the category, the sentiment analysis, the censoring were all provided by ChatGPT API, integrated in Qlik. It's all integrated, all automatic. No one has to do anything manual, but they could if they want to. We also included some sort of ChatGPT inside the Qlik application, and we have two flavors. We can ask a general question that is not related to the data and ask the question. Like I have this an example of what I did before. Give me a quote of the day and just gave me the quote of the day. This has nothing to do with this data. Or I can ask what is H caps, etc. Or I can select the data. I can select one row and I can have a review. So let's pick, for example, this review. So let me select this review here. And so I have a good experience at St. Luke's Hospital. So there's another hospital in the same area. The nurses were very friendly and helpful. The doctor, however, seemed a bit judgmental, etc. So this is a mixed review. I can see it, kind of why, but we can ask the question. Why is this review classified as mixed sentiment? And then I can click this button. Once I click this button, I'm sending this request to the ChatGPT API, and then I'm sending this there, and then ChatGPT processes the information. I'm also sending this data. That's why we needed to censor it. We send in this data, and then we get in the response back. Now we got an answer. This review is classified as mixed sentiment because it contains both positive and negative sentiments. This review mentioned that nurses were friendly and helpful, but also mentioned the doctor was judgmental and prescribed medication that was not needed, which is exactly what is explained. So then we can get further insight using ChatGPT. If you want to know more and how can you use this kind of technology in your business case scenario, contact us at ipc-global.com.